Okay, then I'm gonna do my intro for YouTube and we're gonna get started, I suppose, if everyone's ready.
I am.
Mads, Nietzsche.
I'm good.
Okay then, and is that a botch? Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh
No.
well.
You boss, you better take away his arm.
Okay then, so for those people watching on YouTube, Mr. Bacon will be late today since he apparently has an unspecified thing. He might show up after an hour and a half, 2 hours. And John has been missing in action since the pre-game session we did, and none of us know what's happened to him. To that end, so that we have at least 4 players, we have invited a new player, like Kani or Mads M, playing Karen Vespa. So, we are gonna have 5 minutes in the office of the Lord with Karen now. So the Lord just beckons you to follow him and leads you to his office.
Well, if the Lord gives an order, I of course follow. Hands in the pockets and yeah.
Okay, so you are in the Lord's office. He motions for you to sit down. I assume you do so. Just leans
Yeah.
back and relaxes. He just looks at you for a second and then he speaks. You have been mostly satisfactory so far, Neonate, and unlike most of you, or rather unlike most of the group, there are very few marks against you. To that end, I had given permission for you to be given access to certain teachings which otherwise, due to your relative low rank and relative newness to the blood in general, would not have been otherwise allowed. Now is the time to pay that favor back, since this is a dangerous mission and, well, all of these people, they have a lot of potential, I won't deny that, but they also have their faults. They can be reckless or, on occasion, put their own needs above those of the clan. I would like you to simply offer some guidance to them. Make sure they stay out of trouble. Make sure they don't make any stupid mistakes. One of them actually asked me about diablerie and what the clan would think of such things, which of course does not inspire confidence. Still, I am not against the practice per se, and that of course never leaves this room, but, well, it's politics, appearances matter. If any of them should even consider doing such an act, you all must be absolutely sure that you do not get caught, and if you do get caught, I will be the first to call for bloodhunt on all of the people involved. So make sure that, for your own sake and for the sake of the clan, that does not happen, and that any other embarrassing incidents are avoided.
I understand.
I expect that they may well discount you since you are by far the youngest of the group, and your appearance will certainly act as useful camouflage. Make use of that, be the voice of reason, and make sure that I'm properly informed of any events that might be of interest to the clan.
I will send regular reports to you then, my lord.
Excellent, and of course any service done to the clan will be properly rewarded. You may go.
She nods and stands up and then leave.
Okay then, so you are all, I assume, well, the next scene is gonna be all of you in the car driving towards Springfield. Make sure that your blood pools are set to 1 below the maximum. And you may talk in character while in the car. Bacon's character is gonna be just staring out of the window, lost in his own thoughts, and the ghouls might speak up on occasion. So now would be the time to introduce yourselves and get to know each other a little bit better.
Okay, you said we had a SUV, right?
Yes, you have an SUV. I'm gonna assume that Bronson, Nietzsche's bodyguard slash chauffeur, is driving.
Alright.
Unless someone
So,
else wants to be at the wheel.
nah, that's okay.
So, talk amongst yourselves.
I suppose I'll break the silence, guys. My name is Alex. I took it upon myself to get us some extra life supplies that we would need, and I noticed that we didn't morning. I brought us some flashlights and other things like lock picks. I will be distributing those shortly.
I have a really hard time understanding what you're saying, Nietzsche.
Yeah, you could try just typing it in the Roll20 chat, I guess. Apparently Malik is cursing loudly, screaming his head off. What do you do? Do you want to roll initiative?
No.
No, thank you.
Okay, let's just wait for him to type it out. Or whatever he wants to do.
Well, I think what he was saying is that he bought some sets of lockpicks and flashlights and, you know, just basic necessities that the group as a whole forgot about for everyone with his own cash. So you know, you won't be lost in completely dark places. Thanks to him.
Okay.
May I ask who you are?
I'm just gonna assume that you know, Mads, that John, or rather Liam, as his character is called, was recalled for a mission and, well, that needed his attention more. And you are brought in at the last minute to, you know, fill in the gap.
I will be acting as the voice of reason, apparently.
You actually tell them that?
Yeah, like that, yes. But seriously.
Okay. So, anyone want to roll perception empathy versus manipulation subterfuge here?
Yes.
Okay, feel free to do so then. And you can resist Mads with manipulation subterfuge.
Okay. Watch.
What do you have on perception empathy? I mean, she's lying, you're just trying to figure it out. Not that it matters, since we would be just taking the first 3 dice and those are all successes. Yeah, it's painfully obvious that the Lord doesn't trust you at all, and he's apparently pulled the most suspicious, apparently one of the group, off the group and put his own spy in his place. Apparently, your questions did not inspire much confidence last night.
Woot.
And I guess everyone knows that there's a lot more to the mission, since you actually botched Karen, than just being the voice of reason, and that, you know, there is very much a special assignment with who knows what orders having been given to the newbie. I don't think any of you can trust her now.
Right.
So we know that you're a spy. Anything else you want to tell me?
You want to confront her on it? You certainly can.
I am definitely going to do that.
Okay, go ahead.
Spy?
Play it out, confront her with the fact that you know she's lying.
Well, sir, I noticed that your story doesn't exactly match up to how the Lord would have put it, and that it seems like you were put here by the Lord as a way to see what we are doing and make sure that we don't fuck up completely.
That would be correct. And if you guys act probably, then I won't have anything to do. So please, act appropriately.
Or at least don't get caught.
Yeah. That's the same thing.
I guess I could give a short intro to each of the characters here, since mostly you guys are busy confronting each other and laying down hostilities, which will no doubt cause trouble for months to come. So, right now, of the people we have here, we have Jackalor, who is playing Serath Blackstone, was it?
Yes.
Serath is a scientist, and he has had a long and storied career investigating the paranormal, which is incidentally how he managed to get embraced. Essentially, he was a masquerade breach, and the Tremere, due to him showing certain amount of talent in tracking them down actually, decided that he was ultimately more useful as one of them than as a corpse in a ditch somewhere, especially since due to his strong will it was hard to ensure that a simple mind wipe would actually, hold over time. So they just made him a vampire. Further, we have Malik Wormwood, who was in the police academy at one point, and since then has been busy enjoying himself in the mortal world, making ghouls, partying, and on occasion doing some good work as well, of course, for the clan, but ultimately he managed to create quite a noticeable rift with his sire, who was a Victorian gentleman at one point, and he really did not approve of Malik's well, shall we say, unrestrained ways, and they had a falling out. So now Malik is on his own, and it may well be that his sire recommended him for this clearly suicidal mission. And then, of course, there's Karen Vespa, who is a musician and a biker chick, and essentially she's, despite her appearance, which might lead people to believe some interesting things about her, she's very intelligent and hard-working, even if her appearance does, well, it does make it easy for people to assume that she is a nobody, at least as far as serious study is concerned. And of the people who might show up later, we have Raffaello, who used to be a child of the city of Genoa's Primogen, and he left that city and Italy in general because there was, well, he was ambitious and he was the head of a local crime family, and his interests conflicted with those of Giovanni, and he was forced to flee. Mostly because the Giovanni were stronger in that city and his sire just, well, he had a business-type arrangement with his sire. They were useful to each other, and his sire promptly ditched him when that usefulness was at an end. So that's, I guess, a few short words about the characters. And there are, of course, two ghouls, namely Chloe, was it, and Bronson. Bronson used to be a martial artist until he was ghouled, and he acts as a bodyguard for Malik, and Chloe is an accountant and on occasion might lead the occasional victim to her master, being a very seductive woman at times and having certain skills in that area as well. And that's, well, that's more or less the people involved, I think. So, do you want to talk some more, or should we head on ahead to the princess place?
I can't think of anything.
What would you like to start doing when we get to Springfield? Other than, of course, presenting ourselves.
Well, the prince may have a mission for you to prove your loyalty to the city, and the city is technically in a state of war. He's, well, you'll see soon enough. So you want to skip ahead to the princess place?
Sure.
Malik, do you have anything you would like to add to the others? They have incidentally been quite rudely confronting each other while you have been talking about the good things you've prepared for them. Well, you can head to the dangerous part of the town that's filled with Sabbat and Camarilla hunters without anyone knowing you're in town, if you want, but you may well end up being hunted by both Camarilla and Sabbat, since neither side will recognize you as one of their own. I mean, generally it would be customary to introduce yourself to the prince first, because you're essentially nobodies until you get your passport stamped, so to speak. Okay, I think I'm just gonna move you to the prince's place then. Okay. You should have loaded the prince's map now, and I'm gonna reveal the actual office. Okay, fog of war, fog of war. So that would be the entrance. Feel free to place your tokens on the map and...
And how do I do that?
You grab your name in the journal and drag it onto the map, I think.
You have to open the character and then bio and info, with like picture.
Malik? grab your name in the journal where the list of characters is and drag it onto the map. Just grab your character by the name and drag it over here. Or I can do it for you if you want. But the permissions might get weird then. Okay, I did it for you. I'm just gonna make sure that you can edit and control it then. Advanced. Okay, good. So the secretary just stares at you as you mill around in the foyer and waits for one of you to speak up.
Well, Karen walks over to her desk and say that Clan Tremere is here to present herself for the prince.
Oh, very well. Just wait for a few seconds. He's taking a call right now and he'll be with you in a few moments.
Karen walks over to the couch and sits down.
Raffaello just leans against the wall like a badass. He doesn't give a fuck.
And I stand awkwardly in the middle of everything.
The secretary just smirks at you. Okay then, a few moments later, the secretary motions towards the door leading inwards and says that the prince is ready to see you now.
Alright. That's the store over here, right?
No, that's a window. Wait a second, I'm gonna just reveal the actual office.
Yeah, that's this one.
There you go. You may walk in now. Does anyone among you take the seat?
Not without it being offered now.
Jackalor, or rather Serath?
No. I know etiquette.
Okay then, Raffaello will just sit down. And do any of you speak to the prince first? He's just looking at you, sort of evaluating you, waiting to see what you'll do.
I am waiting to be addressed.
In here.
Okay then, if none of you speak up, then Raffaello will speak up since, well, I assume that he would since he's the politician slash mafioso guy and it kind of fits him. I am Raffaello Sebastiani. I am here from the Tremere clan to take residence in this city, and I am of course here to show my respect to you, my prince, and to introduce myself as is tradition. The prince turns to the rest of you.
Well, I suppose I'll just start on Karen Whisper, Tremere, and that's pretty much all to say.
Okay, he turns to the next in line, who is... it'll be Serath. Speak up, Jackalor, introduce yourself.
I am Serath Blackstone, and I have come here for the same reasons as Raffaello Sebastiani. To introduce myself to you, the prince of this city.
Okay, we'll just wait for Malik to type out what he says. Yes, I'm sure it's a great honor for all of you. You are, of course, welcome in the city as agreed between myself and your elders. However, keep in mind you will have to live up to the same obligations as all citizens of this city. That being the case, you will be expected to help in the efforts to push the Sabbat out of the city, for the simple reason that, well, everyone must pitch in, and you may consider yourselves drafted whenever I have need of you to help in any operation towards that end. Unfortunately for you, the sheriff is currently busy with another mission, and I have received news that there is a pack of shovelheads in the old chantry of the clan. Since this is to a large extent your mess, since the city would never have been vulnerable to such an attack without the actions of your clan, and since it is the chantry of your clan and you are best equipped to see just how many dangerous artifacts and books are left in said location, I expect you to go there by the end of this night and either chase them out or at least ascertain the strength of the enemy and just how big a problem we have here. Other than that, you may stay in this tower, in the guest rooms, for a few days if you have trouble finding a place of your own, and you are welcome in my city.
Alright, then let's get...
I mean, you do still have quite a bit of time till morning. You could always go and visit Elysium first. You don't have to go there first thing.
I was planning to change my clothes a bit and then go to the museum.
Well, as you leave, the secretary will give you instructions on where to find your guest rooms and how to get keys, so you can certainly change here and go and see the Toreador Primogen, or even go to the Bruja place if you wish.
I was thinking of more. I was thinking of going to the Toreador Elysium.
Well, if the others agree, you can certainly do that.
Do you?
Mads, Nietzsche, Elysium, or combat?
I can't do much in combat, but we do have a time limit for it.
Well, Raffaello may well be, or rather Bacon may well be back by the time you actually go into actual combat, so that might be better for you. Okay, so I take it we're going to Elysium then. Alright. I'm just gonna move you to the Toreador Elysium map, which I also have prepared due to the simple fact that, well, probably a lot of things are gonna be going on in there, and you should be loading it now.
I hope that you others also change to suits. Overall, more appropriate clothing.
I give him a look and just shake my head. But she does find a guitar of some sort from the trunk of the car as they are
Well,
ready
we
to move in.
did decide to convert one of these suits we had they had bought before to a set of fancy clothes for you, since Serath has
Yeah.
an even fancier suit from his own money, so you can certainly dress up very
I
presentably.
could.
I mean,
But,
this is your first showing, you know, in the social circles of the city. It might be useful to make a good first impression there.
Nah, no, I'll stick with what I have and don't have the option of being able to appear nice later.
Okay then. So you are on the Elysium map, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Feel free
Well,
to place yourselves near the entrance. The entrance being near in the fountain room.
Is that blood on the fountain?
Ignore that. It's just one of the tile sets that I had available for building it, and there may be a few things which don't exactly fit into how I intended it. Like, for example, those spike tab
like the
traps.
cobwebs, yeah.
Yeah. So, this guy moves forward to greet you. He stretches out his hand to Malik and introduces himself as Corey Bishop, the Keeper of the Elysium. I do think, yes, that's Corey. He just sort of looks at Karen and decides that she's unimportant, since she's dressed like crap.
No, she's not. She's just not dressed for his style.
Well, yeah, but, you know, he just assumes she's some sort of servant. Ah, the Tremere are back. I really have missed your clan these past few days. Such a dreadful tragedy what the prince did to your clan. Completely unconscionable. I do hope you fare better than your predecessors. You are of course welcome to stay here. Just keep in mind that no supernatural abilities or weaponry is to be used in here. Other than that, have a great time. And he turns and offers his hand to Serath as well. Okay.
Yes, I am certain that you are very concerned for our well-being. And by the way, I am Seraph Blackstone. It is very nice to meet you.
Oh, we have had a very long and fruitful relationship between our clans in this city. Particularly my sire has enjoyed working with your previous regent. It truly is unfortunate this latest turn of events. I'm sure she would like to meet you if you wish to stay around for a few moments. This convention hall does require some effort to run, and my sire prefers to keep an eye on such matters, especially the finances herself. She'll be free to see you in about half an hour, and if you can't meet her tonight, she would certainly like to see you some other night. She made sure that I knew to pass on the invitation to come and talk when you have the time and opportunity. You heard about him incidentally from the Lord. He is you know that the Keeper of the Elysium is the child of the current Toreador Primogen.
Well, I would certainly like to meet her. and I will be here for some time for now.
Yes, I'm sure the prince will try to, in some spiteful way, take a vengeance on your clan for whatever perceived wrong he has manufactured in his mind. I do hope he doesn't work you too hard. And really, do keep in mind that you can always come here to relax and talk with like-minded people. And unless you have anything more to add, with that he'll walk off and talk with some other guests, which you can assume are generally around here, but they're just too unimportant to show on the map.
Well, I'll be walking around striking up conversations with more interesting people. That works.
Okay, so you're just getting to know some people, or are you actually looking for rumors? I mean, you can certainly take this opportunity to try and gather a bit more information if you want.
Both, probably. Unless I can only do one.
Well, you can do both, but I would like an appropriate social role, probably charisma expression or charisma leadership, I guess.
Do I get any bonuses for my fancy suit?
Well, that's more of a thing for earning status. It's a thing to help people recognize you as important people. It will be more of a, well, it's about climbing the political system more, being seen as someone fancy enough and important enough to actually pay attention to. The normal vampires won't care that much, but I'm sure you can pass a difficulty 6 check.
So, charisma.
Okay. You can use charisma expression or charisma leadership, whichever is higher, I think, to just, you know, have friendly chats with people and try and figure out exactly what's going on in the city.
So I use 2 rolls for the 2 actions.
Well, you can just do one. Introducing it shouldn't require a roll, so...
Sure. I'll be spending a point of willpower.
Okay, you can do that. So...
I don't want to botch this.
Okay, fair enough. Do you not have anything in leadership?
Nil.
Wow. Wow, well done on character creation then. Okay. You gonna roll for it, Mads? Or are you just looking
For
around?
mingling? No, I'm going to find some place where they are probably performing or something, playing music, and see if we can join into that.
Well, there's probably some sort of music in the hall to the right. I guess you can go there and try and find some
Alright.
Toreador newbies to jam with.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. Then roll charisma performance or dexterity performance based on whether you're trying to focus more on your voice or your instruments to see if you blow their minds.
Charisma performance. Okay.
And I guess you can use your voice thing to lower your difficulty as well.
Yeah, 4 successes.
Okay, yeah, the Toreador are suitably impressed. They seem to be ignoring you quite a bit less, and you might actually be a person worth talking to, instead of just some street piece of trash. As for the other two, what exactly are you trying to figure out? What kind of rumors are you looking for? what kind of information, that kind of thing. Or is it just general state of affairs and mood of the people?
Essentially, yes.
What about you, Malik? The same? Okay, so the people are mildly nervous due to the sudden change in the political situation in the city, but they don't seem particularly worried. I mean, the prince has been in control for decades at this point. I mean, surely he would not have destroyed the Tremere unless he had good reason, and he will surely, in short order, drive the Sabbat out and restore the peace that people have gotten so used to. And, yeah, the newbies, at least, the neonates and such, are perfectly willing to treat you as equals, and you're just seen as one of them, perfectly equal and, you know, just decent people that they can certainly relate to. You find plenty of common ground. The Toreador, though, are giving Karen a few envious looks at the performance she has just given. So I guess you could go in and talk to the Primogen if you wanted to now. Since I'm gonna assume that the half hour is up after mingling for a while.
I'll be doing it.
Yeah, I could make a roll for Raffaello on this as well, but I don't think that's really fair to make rolls that will determine future things without him even being here. So we're just gonna do it when he visits the Elysium, when he's, you know, actually here. Okay then, so when you knock on the door, she just calls out for you to enter. Please, come in, my dears. Oh, hi there. I do believe you are new here. I assume you are the new Tremere. Is that correct?
We are indeed the new Tremere. I am Seraph Blackstone, and this here is my friend Malik Wormwood.
A pleasure to meet you both. Do be careful, dears, though. The prince, you really shouldn't trust him. I do believe he has a grudge to settle with your clan. He may well send you on some dangerous missions using the Sabbat troubles as an excuse, if he hasn't already. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you how to handle politics. Still, I'm always willing to advise the new bloods.
I am certain that you are. So how are you feeling about all of this Sabbat business going on in town?
Well, it's a dreadful inconvenience. Dreadful, absolutely dreadful, and I'm sure the trade in information and intelligence will suffer, what with the prince practically losing the Nosferatu. I do hope the old dear manages.
I am certain he will.
Well, I'm glad you guys like her. I do believe there are a few more of you out in the rest of the Elysium mingling. Did they not want to meet me?
I am unsure about Raffaello, but Karen does not seem to care about this, which is unfortunate.
Well, it certainly is. Perhaps she will change her mind as the events unfold. I'm certain we'll all be very good friends.
I truly hope that we will be.
Well, you know where to find me, my dears, if you should ever need any advice. Okay, Malik's typing something. Indeed, my dear, try not to get killed. It would be such a dreadful shame. She just waves at you, as you, I assume, leave.
Sure.